Now, the Red Sea standoff continues to escalate every day. Yemen's Houthi rebels carried on with their barrage of targeted attacks on what the group refer to as Israel-affiliated ships. The latest, US and Iran, are involved in a war of words. The former had previously accused Iran of backing the Houthis in their attacks on private vessels crossing the Red Sea. But on Saturday, Iran's Foreign Minister Hossein Amir Abdollahian rejected the accusations of their involvement.
ما به صراحت به آمریکایی‌ها گفتیم که اونها بر اساس مسائل خود تصمیم گرفتند که چگونه از غزه دخالت کنند، اما ما نیز هرگز به آنها نه دستوری داده ایم و نه دستور خواهیم داد که شما اقداماتتون رو متوقف بکنید.
On the contrary, Tehran has lashed out at Washington for not taking action against Israel's relentless military operations in Gaza, which have so far killed more than 20,400 civilians in the enclave, most of them women and children.
برای ما امنیت منطقه بسیار مهم هست. ما به دنبال گسترش دامنه جنگ نیستیم. راهکار ایجاد ائتلاف در دریای سرخ نیست. راهکار متوقف کردن ریختن خون سرخ زنان و کودکان و غیر نظامیان غزه و کرانه باختری فلسطین هست.
Meanwhile, in the latest attack, the Houthis targeted an Indian-flagged Gabon-owned crude oil tanker. U.S. military revealed that the vessel called MV Saibaba had sent a distress call to a U.S. warship in the region. So far, no injuries to human life or the ship have been reported. The incident comes just a day after another commercial vessel, which was Liberia-flagged and Japanese-owned, came under attack off the Gujarat coast in India. The vessel, MV Kem Pluto, was en route to a port in southern India's Mangalore when it was attacked by an unclaimed strike. In another incident in the southern Red Sea area, the U.S. destroyer shot down 4 drones headed towards it on Saturday. The strikes were reportedly launched from Houthi-controlled areas of Yemen. The Iran-aligned Houthis, who control much of Yemen, including the capital Sana'a, have disrupted world trade for over 4 weeks now. They have attacked ships passing through the Bab al-Mandab Strait at the southern end of the Red Sea in what they say is a response to Israel's operations in Gaza. On the trade front, the escalation along the key maritime trade route has begun showing its impact. The Houthi strikes have pushed up oil prices by 4% so far. Close to 10% of fuel trade goes through the Red Sea route, which now faces a security concern. Economists foresee a significant increase in oil prices, going as high as $5 per barrel. On the other hand, shipping costs are also expected to rise by 100%, as many vessels are now forced to take a much longer route that could also delay shipment by 19 to 30 days. Navdeep Singh Puri is a former ambassador of India to the UAE and Egypt, and also headed the West Africa and Public Diplomacy departments in India's Ministry of External Affairs. Ambassador Navdeep is joining us live from New Delhi. Welcome to the show, Ambassador.
Thank you, Eric.
Talk to me about what is happening in the Red Sea. Is it a new battlefront? Is it meant to divert attention to the Hamas war, or a battle of supremacy, you think, in the waters of Arabia?
No, I think it's got 2 dimensions. There's an international dimension, which is that the Houthis, and to the extent that they've often been proxies for Iran, are trying to open the front wider. They are trying to send a clear message that they can impact Israel in other ways, which are non-military. And it is also something very handy to build up the Houthis' prestige, both within Yemen, where they've been through a terrible conflict over the last several years, and within the Arab world. Suddenly you hear everybody amongst Palestinians, amongst the Arab street, talking about Yemen, talking about the Houthis, and saying that, look, these are the guys who are standing with the Palestinians in ways that some of the other states can't. It's a very risky strategy. it can provoke retaliation. But for now, the Houthis are demonstrating that at relatively low cost, they can have a major impact on shipping around the world.
Ambassador, there is something else that is emerging from this battle, the US and Iran factor. As much as both are trading bombs at each other, most countries, especially in West Asia, have chosen not to be involved, even to settle the crisis or even dispute. Why is that?
Well, I think there are a lot of back-channel conversations underway about the day after scenarios and what happens once the war eventually finishes. And there are multiple options being discussed. I think most people are veering around towards trying to strengthen the Palestine Authority and making it capable of handling not just the West Bank, but Gaza. With the caveat that that requires the Israelis to change their attitude towards the Palestine Authority, stop undermining it. They have to find some way, perhaps, of dealing with the fact that Hamas is currently quite popular, according to a recent opinion poll, even amongst West Bank Palestinians. And finally, I think the Arab states would need, before they commit themselves to all of the massive reconstruction that will be needed in Gaza, they need some kind of assurance that, it won't be money down the drain, that 2 years later, 3 years later, there won't be another bout of fighting. And again, the buildings will be destroyed, as we have seen in 2008, in 2014, in 2021, and now in 2023. This is not the first time it's happening.
Ambassador, INS Kochi and INS Kolkata are patrolling the high seas off the coast of Aden as part of maritime security and anti-piracy operations. India sent the warships despite the Houthi rebels threatening states of not getting involved. What is the significance or impact of India's move?
Well, firstly, India has been active in anti-piracy operations along the Horn of Africa for over a decade. This was part of our commitment that we will, contribute to the anti-piracy operations. So our ships have been around. They are no strangers to the region. They've been around for a long time. I think today the world will understand that India is a major economic power. It's a major trading nation. And a lot of our exports to Europe and America go through the Red Sea and Suez Canal. So we have a vital interest. We may not have our ships there under the US flag or under the US command. They may be operating independently. They may be operating in coordination. But they are there to protect Indian interests and to send a message that, when we say that we want the freedom of navigation and shipping lanes to be open, it means that we are willing to contribute to it.
All right, I've been talking to former Ambassador of India to the UAE and Egypt, Ambassador Navdeep Singh Puri. Ambassador, thank you very much for talking to us.
Thank you.
WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.